Hello, my friends. It's Lacey of Fluid Yoga, Kansas, Missouri. I'm not sure. I just moved a couple months ago, so I might have to change my name. I don't know. Instagram still says Fluid Yoga KS, so maybe now it's Fluid Yoga Missouri. Amazing. But if we're being honest, this is the first, let me scoot back just a bit. This is the first video I have recorded since I moved to Missouri. So I guess we're still Kansas. Okay, so a few things, I guess, just right off the bat. I have been super excited about making yoga videos again. And basically, like, the first of the year, I felt this like big rush of like energy, and I got my spare room all set up, and I like got some lights because it's super dark because it's daylight savings, and basically was like really energized to start recording videos with my nice camera, my nicer camera anyway, and like edit them and all of that. That being said, I ran out of my medication, and I am just now getting a doctor. My appointment is next week to actually get medication again. Do you hear that? That's a cat jiggling the doorknob. Henry, can you please stop? He would get in if he could. Opposable thumbs. Good thing cats don't have those. Okay, so I just want to have like a quick little talk on mental health and where I'm at, and kind of just a reminder that you are not alone and that we all deal with a lot of things. So yeah, I deal with depression and anxiety, which is, I was just about to invalidate myself. I'm not going to do that. I deal with depression and anxiety. I have a medication that works super well for me, but with not having insurance and moving, I ran out of medication. This happens to the best of us, even when we have doctors and when we have insurance. Sometimes we lapse our medication, and that doesn't make us bad people. Just means that maybe we could try to do that better for ourselves. So anyway, with the medicine still in my system at the beginning of the year, I like had all this energy. I was ready to do the videos, and then last week hit, and it hit hard. And the lack of medication in my system hit me really hard. So this brings me to yesterday at work. It's amazing when you work in the service industry or customer service, what personal conversations you end up having and what personal questions people feel like they can ask you. But there's someone that I rather like who comes into the store that I work at, and she's a spiritual person. We have had some conversations about energy work and whatnot. So I felt like I could be honest with her, and I told her that I was planning on making yoga videos, and she said, "Oh, have you made any?" And I said, "No, not yet." She said, "Why?" Or I said, "No, I haven't had the energy for that." And she said, "You can just say no, you haven't done it," which kind of made me feel like a little bit of judgment. But anyway, so I was like, yeah, well, I had this idea because I want to bring this up too. There's a young woman on YouTube who made a video of her cleaning her bedroom. And she said, "I have depression. I have a hard time keeping a clean space. Here's an hour-long video of me not judging myself, but just cleaning my room. And here are some nice ways to do things and make it not feel so overwhelming, like setting timers or like certain little like tricks that she would use to keep herself going." And I thought it was freaking genius and so inspiring and so helpful. Like, there are some days where I can just imagine that being super helpful. And what I did instead was sit on my lunch break and eat food and listen to her talk because it was just really nice to listen to. So I had this idea that I do that with yoga, kind of. Like, So to get back to my story, this woman, I said, so I had this idea. I know a lot of people who are really struggling doing their yoga right now, no matter how much they want to, because they're depressed and they're dealing with a lot. And it's really hard to get back into something, even if you really want to do it, if you just don't have that energy there. And she said, well, do you deal with depression? And I said, yes. She said, is that like kind of what's going on for you? And I said, yes. And then she challenged me on it. And she said, well, maybe it's not depression that you're actually dealing with. And I thought, she said, I'm just going to let you think about that. She's like, but if you want to say it's depression, that gets you off the hook, which annoyed me. And maybe me making excuses annoyed her making excuses. I felt like I was just being open and honest. But it made me think of a few things. First of all, I don't have to tell everyone my business. And I am a very open person for the most part. My general feeling is if I can be open with someone and help them feel less alone by just being honest, then that's better, because the last thing that any of us needs is to feel more alone than we already do. But in this case, I don't think that that was something that I needed to be honest about. Another thing is I don't have to create excuses for things that I don't feel like doing. So with the energy I have had, I have been most nights making dinner for my partner when he comes home from work, because he started a job that goes into the evening time. I have started sewing again, which has been huge. It's something I've been wanting to get back into, and that is where my creative energy is going, and that's okay, because that's where I want it to go. And the whole idea of taking the spare room, which the kitten is living in right now, who just got neutered. So like, I don't want to like take him out of the spare room and have to clean it and set up and do my yoga videos, which won't be forever, but it is the way it is now. And I don't have to explain that to anyone. And I actually stopped myself from going back over and talking to her and explaining some things, because I thought it's none of anyone's damn business. I don't have to share my mental health with people who aren't going to understand. And I don't have to share it at all with anyone if I don't want to. However, I think that many of us here on the YouTubes deal with these things, and the internet is our safe space. So I just wanted to say that. I wanted to share that story, and I had a few little things come into my head besides that. You don't have to tell everyone your business. You don't have to, you don't even have to be honest about how you're feeling with a lot of people. You can tell them that you're fine, even if you're not. And if you don't have someone to be honest with about your feelings, you can come here and you can message me, or you can go onto Instagram and message me, and just know that you've got a safe space to talk to someone. Second of all, I also thought, well, I don't have to have an excuse for why I don't want to do something. If what I want to do is put my energy into spending time with my cats and my partner and doing some sewing, then that's perfectly valid. If I tell someone I'm going to make a yoga video, well, I will at some point, and I still will make more of the kind of yoga video I want to make, but start where it's easy. And that is my favorite phrase, start where it's easy. And so today, I'm being gentle on myself, and I'm going to start where it's easy with you all. So I want to create this video for those of us who perhaps like myself, you have had a consistent yoga practice in the past, and maybe since COVID and isolation, not being able to go to the gym or go to regular classes, or you're depressed or you're anxious or you're isolated, whatever it is, if you're having a hard time getting back into it, because I haven't practiced consistently in 6 months. First of all, it's okay. That doesn't mean anything about you except that you're just dealing with some stuff and that you have the space to deal with that. But also, there are some easy ways to get back into things. And that is the whole Strala approach anyway, is do the hard things as easily as you can. So 10 minutes into this video, thank you for listening to me. We're gonna do yoga for when you can't get out of bed. So get yourself in a comfy spot, preferably on your bed. And if you have been in bed all day, that's fine. Just sit up and push the sheets out of the way and get yourself sitting up nice and tall. Tall-ish. If you like, you can also take a pillow and just stick it up underneath your butt, and that'll get you a nice little bit of lift to your spine. All we're gonna do for just a few moments is just breathe. So let your eyes close. You can have a little bit of rounding in your spine. You don't have to have perfect posture. If you're a sloucher, no judgment. I think that also, in my experience with yoga, that posture comes with time, so there's no rush on that. And it never even has to be there anyway. We just want to create enough space that the breath can move through the body. So you might take a big breath, let it roll up through your spine. And exhale, sigh it out through your mouth as loud as you need to. 2 more times. You can get dramatic. 1 more. Just let yourself sit with your eyes closed. We're going to lengthen the spine, lift the chest for just a few breaths even. If you can hang out there for a while longer, that's great. But if you can only manage this for a few breaths and then you need to sink back in again, that's fine. Just get yourself some space to breathe. Also, our anxiety response goes way, way up when we don't breathe. You'll notice when you're having an anxiety response that you might hunch in, clench in, especially depression as well, and your breath shortens and you're not getting enough oxygen to your brain, which causes it to think there's something wrong. So just deep breaths, that's all. Really deep breaths. And when you're ready, just add a little sway into this. Maybe your neck and head follow. You can drop your chin to your chest, let the back lengthen, let your neck lengthen. Roll the neck all the way back, head to the back of the spine. And maybe over to the right shoulder, hanging out for a second. All the way to the other side. And then we'll take a big inhale. Let your arms follow this time. And exhale, arms just right back down. Another big breath in. And exhale. 1 more round of that. This time the palms are just going to come down to your heart. So you can bring palms together, or my preference is just laying one palm over your heart, the other palm right on top. And continuing the breath while feeling your heart pump right up against your hands. And we're just going to lean over toward this left side and let this right leg just scooch on out. You could hang out here for a second if you want. Leaning away so that we can come down inside this leg. Now, this leg is probably not going to be straight if you haven't done yoga in many months, and that's fine. So we're going to put a big bend into the knee. Let that arm fall inside. And inhale the opposite arm up. And exhale. exhale, just come over as far as you can. You don't have to go far. You can stay with this hand on the side if that feels a little bit more gentle, or the arm can start to come overhead. If you have room to scooch that leg out, you sure can, but no pressure. Take a big breath, lift up just a bit so that as you exhale, you can just sink in a little bit more. And then we're just going to drop the chest down, opposite hand to the ankle. Let the head fall down, the chest fall down right inside this leg. You can roll open again if you'd like, or just stay down low. Or you can walk this hand outside the leg, maybe start to drop the head down to the knee. And again, if this isn't there, no worries. Grab a stuffed animal or a pillow and just bring it down here on the leg. And if you're holding tension here, I am too. So I'm going to see if I can just relax myself out a bit more. So that may mean also that I bring something underneath this knee and come over here. That feels a little bit nicer. Just let yourself breathe. There's no rush. We're not going anywhere. We're just hanging out. Take a big breath. Lift yourself up from here. Arms can come overhead if you like. And then just come around this opposite knee. So your right hand comes behind, or left hand, I don't know what side we're doing here. And the opposite hand is to the opposite knee. You can drop the back ear to the back shoulder. Let the neck open up a bit more. We're going to come back through the middle really softly, really gently. So we're just coming over here, leaning away, and sending that other leg all the way through. So lean away here for a second. Give yourself some time. If you want to bring something under that knee again, go for it. Big breath here so that you can exhale. Soften over this side. Another big breath up. And exhale over. If this feels hard, just stay up a little bit taller. Excuse me. Burping tortilla chips. So you could bring this hand back behind, you could bring the elbow down, or maybe just hang out here with the hand supporting you. And breathing. And you can explore if you have enough energy to kind of roll around or explore a bit. Maybe that breath is giving you a little bit of life. But we're just having fun. Like maybe the first fun we've had in a couple days. And just let yourself hang out. If you have lots of pillows on my bed, like I do, and my boyfriend complains about, you can go ahead and bring another pillow here and soften over. That feels super nice. Relax your foot, and notice I was holding some tension here, stretching this foot out. Just let it relax, go limp. Then we'll take another big breath, lift yourself up. Maybe you've got enough energy to take the arm up and exhale. Find your little twist. And we're just going to do one more thing here. So we're going to move some things off to the side. Move anything out from underneath your knee. Lean away so you can bring the legs in once again. So you can sit with your heels stacked if you have that flexibility. If you don't, just sit crisscross applesauce. And what we're going to do is just bring some pillows underneath our knees. Which, if you're in any regular classes that have blankets, yoga blankets, or if you have a blanket on you, another thing you can do is roll up your blanket and kind of like bring it around and underneath your knees to support you here. Otherwise, just use some pillows and we'll do the same thing. And we'll take a big breath. Again, hands come back behind. Inhale, open up. Exhale, just let yourself come over here. Nice and gentle and easy. If this feels like too much, again, just grab something. Bring it up underneath your chest, especially if you have a stuffed animal. You can just snuggle it here. Let your eyes close down. Let your breath deepen. You can breathe in and out through your mouth here. No judgment on mouth breathing, so do whatever you need. No ujjayi breath here. Yoga jokes. And you could stay here for a really long time if that feels nice. If you want to roll it around or crawl it around, you can always come over to this side or the other side. So we're getting that back body stretched out just a little bit more again. If you feel like you're not doing enough here, resist trying to do more. Just relax. Just take it easy. Stay here as long as you like. If you want to come back up just to end it, sitting up nice and tall with a few more breaths. Just come back to that. Breathe that oxygen down into your belly, into your lungs, maybe even up into your brain. You can imagine that happening. And exhale all of the nastiness, all of the hurt, whatever it is you're dealing with. Just let it go as much as you can. That's not always reasonable. We'll just release some of what doesn't serve us here with these breaths. When you're ready, you can bring your hands to your heart again. This is just a really nice way to tune back in with yourself. Just know that you have my support. You do not have any judgment from me. No matter how long you've been in bed, or maybe, you know what, if you are high functioning, case in point, sometimes that's hard as well because people don't believe that you're actually dealing with anything. Everything you feel is valid. What you do with it is up to you, but don't feel bad about the days that are hard. I will be making more yoga videos. I am grateful that you joined me for this. I hope you can accept and give me some grace on this very laid back video. But there will be more from me. Thank goodness, because medication. I'm really excited about it. So I love you all. You are very special. You are very loved, and you are super worthy. You're worthy of everything that you desire. And please remember that. I will see you all very soon.